Well, happy Friday. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, ladies.
Happy Friday, and welcome to Financial Sins. We're always happy to share exciting information about finances. Before we get to that, though, we want to honor all veterans on today, and we say Happy Veterans Day to all veterans out there. We definitely appreciate your service.
Oh wow, the different photos and pictures that are coming up of everyone. I'm seeing all of my classmates and remembering them when they were back in school and being commissioned into the Army or to the Navy or wherever they were going. It was just fantastic. So again, thank you so much for for your services. And then also, we're going to say thank you to our own Kathleen Sanders Wilson.
Yes, absolutely, Kathleen. A shout out to you. She is one of the posse, so we're called. So, Kathleen, definitely, we love you and we thank you for your service. Your picture today is just a beautiful picture of you. And we just thank you for all that you've done. And to our families, a photo popped up of my father that I posted some time ago when he was in the military. And so we just salute all of you and we thank you, thank you. Flo, what's going on with you on this happy Friday?
Hey, this is Mad Flow. I'm not crazy. Y'all know that. But I am mad about making a difference for life of others through financial literacy. And like you guys say, thank you, the veterans, everyone. Thank you so much for your service. Because what you've done, we are where we are in the United States right now. A lot of people are having so many different freedoms because of what our veterans done. So thank you so much, and thank you for joining in today. We are looking for a fantastic day. Let's get started. We're just having a chat today. I don't think we have a guest on today, guys. So, audience, you got us today, just the ladies. We kicked the men out. Just the ladies.
And it's great to just have us because you know what? It's the holiday season and it's nothing like women and shopping.
Oh, wait.
So
I begin well.
Even and we say that kind of jokingly, but even our conversation this morning was about finding something to wear.
Yes.
Just a plain old blouse, just trying to find something to wear. And what are we going to have to do? We're going to have to go online to find different items now because some of the stores at this particular time just doesn't seem as the quality that we used to have before, right? So there's some changes happening inside the malls and inside the stores here. So you're going to find yourself out doing some shopping online now. And hey, I'm getting ready for it because I see where people are sending out the Black Friday. And Flo, you said what? It shouldn't be Black Friday. It should be what?
Green Friday. It should be Green Friday. I'm gonna challenge everyone out there. See how much money you can save. Because I'm gonna tell you a few things about Black Friday. First of all, I tell you what, if you use your credit card, you're not saving money. Basically, on you go out for Black Friday, what, to save money? But really, anytime you spend money, you're not saving money unless you put the money that you supposedly saved from that sale in some sort of interest-bearing account. Another thing, if you buy it and don't need it and never use it, you didn't save. And if you buy more than one item just because of the price, you're not saving. So it should be Green Friday. I challenge everyone out there to save money on Black Friday, which is the Friday after Thanksgiving, is it not?
Right.
That's a challenge. Let's make it Green Friday.
All right, so go back to item number 1 and what did you just say about the Green Friday and what we ought to do? If you're doing what you're doing?
Okay, so if you think you're saving money because they're lowering the prices of those items out there in all the stores and everything, but if you use a credit card, guess what? You're not saving because you're going to end up paying more on that credit card. and probably not
Absolutely.
paying that credit card off. And if y'all remember the rule of 72, it works for you and it works against you. So if you rule of 72, if you take the interest rate divided by 72, it'll tell you how long it takes that money to double. So you just think about how much you're giving to your credit card. You're not actually saving money. And when we say save, they put the big sign up there all on the stores and everything. Save $10, save $50. I'll give you an example. You go to the store one day and you see those fabulous shoes that you want. Those shoes are priced at $150. But you say, I'm not going to get those shoes. So you wait for the sale. Now the sale goes down 50%. So now they're $75. And you rush out. You say, oh my God, I'm going to save $75. I'm going to go and buy those shoes for $75. Unless you did one thing, you have saved. Unless you took that other $75 that you did not use to buy that and put it into some interest-bearing account, you didn't save any money. Okay? So you have to realize that you didn't save.
You're giving it hard. You're giving it hard.
We don't want to hear that. We don't want to hear that. We don't want to hear that. We don't want to hear that.
So you're going to buy that shirt that you want, that pretty shirt on sale, but you make sure whatever the sale price is, the other part, you have to put it away and save it. So, that's my spiel on things when we talk about saving.
Well, that is such a great tip because I thought maybe you were going to do it one more time. And like when it goes out of season and they still happen to have your size and those shoes are now down to $45. Because I would have got them, Netta.
And then you take that other 75 that you did not save to use it and buy another one.
Renetta says she would have bought them at $150.
No.
All right, big
sometimes because you find something that you really want, and sometimes you're going to get it regardless, and that was my point. So understand, and like you said with credit cards, understand if you're buying it regardless, if you're putting it on that credit card, if you have to do that, make sure it's on a credit card that has 0% or the lowest percent, and have a plan to pay off that credit card. And like you said, Flo, you got to have that money, because you can't live off those credit cards. So you make a plan to make sure you pay that off, before the interest rates are applied and before they start to accrue.
Within 30 days, ladies, within 30 days, if you pay any credit card off within 30 days, it's interest free. The banks and the credit card company do not like people like us that do that. But you know what the credit card companies had to do, and it was regulated by the government, was about 20 years ago. They had to start putting on your statement, if you just pay the minimum, how long, and this is how much you would pay. Now, if you paid more, it will show you that you can pay more and you paid off shorter period of time. So the credit card companies, they had to start putting that on people's statements to help people realize and understand that if they just continue to pay the minimum, they're going to be in debt for a long time. But if you pay a little bit more, you pay off a lot quicker.
Absolutely.
And it helps with your credit score as well.
It
people
sure does.
Understand that, keeping those balances low and keeping, taking those balances to zero for those who are building credit, and those who have credit, study the masters, and that's what they do, to build those credit numbers and your credit.
Hey, I'm going to give you a few statistics on Black Friday, amazing Black Friday statistics. Okay, in 2021, Black Friday 2021 saw 80 million Americans shopping online. Now, this is shopping online. Why was that in 2021? It was shopping online. 2020 and 2021, COVID.
Right.
Because of COVID. In-store traffic increased by nearly 19% year over year since they started the Black Friday sales. Store traffic increased. Black Friday online shopping hit 8.9 the B word, billion. Average savings on Black Friday specials were 24%.
That's all.
Average order values increased by 9% in 2021. Nearly 43% of Black Friday sales happen through mobile phones. They make it so easy for us to spend our money and get our
Absolutely.
money.
Yes, yes,
Your
that
phone
would
is
be
always
spend
with
my
you.
money. Yes.
You
Who do you
know,
think were the biggest spenders in 2021?
Black
In
women,
Black Friday. Who?
Black women.
No. Who do you think was the biggest spenders in 2021 Black Friday? The millennials.
Millennials.
The
Okay.
millennials were the biggest spenders.
I'm
You know,
surprised that I wouldn't have thought that it was the millennials because
They
they're
have
the ones who
disposable
are
income.
always they have the most disposable income. You're absolutely right. But I
right.
was also thinking they're the ones who are always on the internet, and you would think that they would find all the sales, early, because if you notice the sales that you find on Black Friday, those sales are already in the stores 2 months ago. But there's something about Black Friday that people just
run out
to. I mean, I can remember, and I hated, I've never been that Black Friday standing in those long lines. But you guys remember there would be lines and people would camp out, to get in line to get those 50 televisions.
Electronics is the thing. Electronics is the biggest sale when it comes to
but there are only 50 televisions.
And you got 1,000 people.
And there's 1,000 people. But I think the hook is once you're there, right? And they don't have that television. Well, I'm in here. You may buy something else. Yes. Yes, but we're talking about, and as we're talking about holiday costs and holiday tips, Flo, you're right. One of the things that you want to make sure you do is really revisit how much you spent last year, as you create your budget, because, inflation is here, right? So things are going to cost a little bit more. So revisit how much you spent last year and make a conscious decision, have that family conversation as to whether or not you can truly afford to spend that same amount this year. And if you can't, then it's okay to cut back. Make lists of who you really want to shop for and what you need versus what you actually want. Decide, how do you plan to celebrate the holidays? Is it going to be a small gathering? Are you going on vacation? Are you going to visit, other relatives? And decide really early on, like right now, what that spending is going to look like for you. And you remember when there used to be, and I remember years ago when I worked in corporate healthcare, there used to be a holiday savings plan and a holiday savings. So remember, you go to your credit union and you'd start early and you'd put that money aside. And what that did was help you to have disposable cash that you could spend during the holidays. Have you done any of those types of things? Because you never want to, in January, that you're in such a deficit that you now regret
that
everything that you did during the holidays.
Yeah. And we realize, even going through the pandemic, we don't need as much anymore. We can begin to reduce the spending that we do out there, because what became more important was spending time with family. So we shouldn't be spending as much time, as much money purchasing items, because we found that it was much more important that we spend time with one another, and that our time together is a whole lot more precious than a gift.
Yes.
But if you're going to buy a gift, at least make a list. So I found it a whole lot easier if I made my list ahead of time and stuck with my list and didn't go off. So if I'm going to buy mom some perfume, then I'm going to buy her that perfume and not, she really should have gotten this, or because I saw a sale here and whatnot. And that's what happens sometimes.
Yes,
that's what happens a lot of times. So making that list is going to be very, very important before you even walk out. And before I even do that, I got to put a budget together, right?
Yes.
And I definitely only spend cash. I only spend money that I have, and I do not use my debit card, because that is another way that I overspend. So this is the one time that I go and withdraw my money, and when that cash is gone, that's it. So if I stick to my list,
smart. That's very smart, Tanya.
no.
Very smart.
I do not take the debit card and swipe, because the debit card seems like it doesn't have an end.
It does not. There's something about that.
You can't swipe it no more. That's for sure.
But here's the other thing about that debit card. You know, if something happens, you don't have the same type of protection. You know, so make sure that you maintain receipts. Make sure that you get gift receipts so that you can, you know, when you give that gift, get a gift receipt. And it's okay now, especially with older people, ask them what they want.
Yeah.
You know, and make it easier for yourself so that you're not out there guessing and giving someone something that they truly don't want or that they can't use.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you know what, ladies? When y'all hit on a few things, quality time. Instead of spending money, quality time. Spend time with your family, spend time with your friends. But you also have to do this now. If you're going to spend that quality time, how about doing this? If you're at the dinner table, put the cell phone down, put the tablet down. Let's sit down and have a conversation. Let's just sit down and really talk. When was the last time we did that? So when you think about the quality time that we want to share with someone, make sure it's quality time that they have your undivided attention. Strike up a conversation, learn to talk again. And that's the thing. We're not talking to each other. We're talking like this all the time. We're just doing this right here. And the other person is like, oh, I'm busy with, social media or something. So if you're going to do quality and you're going to do time, make sure they're together. Put the cell phone down and let's take and have a conversation. That makes a big difference.
You're so right. Tyrone and I practice it when our daughter is with us. We may not practice it when it's just me and him.
Right.
But when our daughter is with us at dinner, then that is the time that we do no cell phones, none of us. So they may come in, we may flip it over to see who's calling and hit that button, but we do not talk on the cell phone when my daughter is with us. Now, this is mostly out of the house having dinner. I can't even say that we do it in the house.
Right.
If we are sitting together at dinner in the public, then we try not to, or it's pretty much what we say, no cell phones.
What I do when I go out with my husband, I do the similar thing. I just leave my cell phone in the car. See, he's not a cell phone user like I am because, I have a business. I've got a lot of business to do and everything. So I'm always on that cell phone. So whenever we go out to dinner, and I started doing this maybe about a year ago. So whenever we go out and we're going to enjoy ourselves or whatever, I leave my cell phone in the car. So I know, because knowing me, if it's sitting right there beside me and that baby rings, or if I got it or something, it buzz, I know I'm going to pick it up. So I just leave it in the car.
Absolutely. I know how important that is.
Isn't there a hurricane out there, ladies?
Well, we were fortunate. So there was a hurricane that hit Category 1. Hurricane hit Daytona Beach. And, just surprisingly, they weren't expecting it and definitely didn't expect that it would become a category hurricane. Tropical storms. And even if you looked at the pictures that were on the news, the erosion of the beach, and how, the waves went up to those, to those houses, it was, awful. So we also definitely send, our prayers out to Floridians, who have been affected by the Category 1 hurricane. What was her name? Nicole?
Nicole.
Yes, affected by Nicole. So as we continue to talk about, do we need a commercial break?
Oh, go ahead.
So we're about to, take a commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to continue to talk about holiday spending. We're going to continue to talk about budgeting and continue to talk about what's really important during the holiday season. So come back with us. We're taking a quick break and we'll be right back. Again, happy Friday and welcome to Financial Sins. Today, we, the ladies, are talking about finances and talking about making better decisions in our financial lives. So, Flo, tell us a little bit more about some of those tips that you found for the holiday season, but that also apply throughout the year.
The best tip I can give you is on Black Friday. Go inside your house, lock the doors, close all the windows, hide your money, hide your money. Just, just blind all the windows. And you have a Black Friday for real in your house. Just kidding. You got to have a little fun. You got to make them laugh.
Oh my gosh, no, I wasn't expecting that. That was funny.
Go there and lock those doors and just close it out. But just be cautious. Conscious, just like Tanya was saying. I'm not in a habit. I love to use my debit card because what I do, I have my 4 debit cards. So what I do is I have one that is specific for spending what I want to spend. And once the money's going out of that, I don't go to my other ones because the others are my business ones. But I love the idea of the cash, but I just can't carry cash with me. Because you know why? I spend it on the wrong things. If I got cash, I'll spend it faster. So I love to keep mine in the bank, debit card, or sometimes I'll drive around with the cash forever and I look in there and I say, no, I don't want to use the cash. I use my debit card. But I love the concept, but I just cannot get in the habit of doing the cash thing.
Well, I'm more of a credit card person. I like to use a credit card, but the key to doing that is to make sure you pay off the credit card.
Right.
So I'm with you, Flo. I'm not as much of a cash person. I like to have a certain amount of cash on me, I think, for in those moment emergencies and things like that. But I am that credit card user. And that's why I said credit cards with low interest, zero interest, and understand, like you said earlier, Flo, pay those credit cards off in 30 days. And I do that also because I know that it affects my credit score. So it's a very strategic thing that I do with credit cards. But you cannot, remember on credit cards that your ratio, your utilization on those credit cards should never go above 30%. And you really want to have that under 10%. So understand what your credit limit is on that card and what you should really be spending on that card when you're also working on building credit. And I tell people that all the time. And people are, looking, they're like, I'm at 60%, I'm at 70%. So make a plan, use that snowball method, which I've done as well. Paid off one credit card and the amount of money that I continue to put on that one to pay it off. Now I add that to the next one.
Absolutely.
And so work toward doing that. But in all things that you do, under 30%, okay. And if you can get to under 10%, and you'll see an increase in your credit score.
Absolutely. And also remember this when it comes to those credit cards. Every time the banks do it now, the credit cards do it this way now. They want to actually know and update your annual income. And the reason they do this is they just asked me to update mine because we may be able to give you more credit.
Yeah.
And so I said I'm not updating that because right now I don't want any more extra credit. So that's what they do. That's how they do it now. They ask you to update your annual income, and then you'll be eligible for an increase in your credit. So I may have $10,000 now. I update my annual income, and then they're going to offer me, hey, you got 10,000. We're ready to give you an additional 5,000. I always refuse them until I really, really, really need it, but I refuse it.
But it's again about being smart about your money, being smart about how you use your credit. Because there may be a time where you need an increase, but again, I strongly talk about it. And Tanya and I have these conversations all the time about that utilization ratio. And with credit cards, you want credit cards that give you cash back. What I do on those cash back credit cards, I let that amount accumulate, and then I cash that back out into my checking or my savings account. So if you're going to use your credit card, make your credit cards work for you. You don't work for your credit cards.
Right.
They have to work for you. And there's some cards that give you travel miles.
Oh yeah.
So, so if you're using credit cards, be strategic about how you use them. Be strategic about how you select them so that they're always working for you.
Mm-hmm. I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah.
Love that. How much was the most that you ever got from your credit card cash back?
The cash back,
Mhm.
like I told you, I use my credit cards all the time. And so I'm constantly getting, so the most I've gotten in one was about here in the last this year was like 300 and something dollars. And that's cash back. So that's, I spent it, paid on my credit cards, did all that. And then I took that money, let it accumulate. And I actually forgot about it because I usually do it kind of
Yeah.
monthly. But I let that money accumulate and I put that money in my account.
You know how much the most I've ever gotten. This is way back when I used to do this thing constantly. I just used nothing but my credit card, one particular credit card. I had actually gotten back $1,800 cash back, and guess
Yeah.
what? I never paid interest on that credit card because I was in the habit of making sure I paid it off within 30 days, and I had it maybe about 2 or 3 years before I came. And I had $1,800. I said, okay.
Yeah.
That's a good
Because
little savings
yeah,
plan.
you
I
let it
never
accumulate.
took any interest.
That
Right,
was great.
right.
Because I paid that baby off, but I got that cash back. And the
You know,
highest
you
ever made was like $1,800,
yes.
$1,800. But this was maybe about 20 years ago when I
And that's when you
first
don't,
got introduced to credit cards, really.
but it'll continue to accumulate if you don't cash it out. And so when I remember, you cash it out. So we're just saying these are some other tips, financial tips, holiday tips. So if you are doing that, so you have several options. One option, use your credit cards, use them wisely. Another option, do the cash method. Know exactly how much you're going to spend. And once you've spent that amount, then you're done. It's about the discipline, right? So we have to have that budget. Flo saying, if you can't afford $150 shoes, even when they go on sale, because you can't put that $75 in there, then maybe that's not a purchase. And we're not saying never make purchases because we work hard, right? And there's some things we want for ourselves. And, we want to be able to give a gift to someone whom we care about, our loved ones. We do that. But we're saying have a budget, and understand how you're spending your money and how that's going to affect you in January. Okay, don't have, caviar season during the holidays and, ramen noodle season in January. Now, I'm not saying for those who love, because I love ramen noodles, I'm going to eat them anytime I want also, but we're saying be mindful.
Be mindful. Be mindful of what you're doing.
Yeah.
You shouldn't go in debt for the Christmas holidays or for any holiday, because you love someone and you want to make sure you can give to them. But you shouldn't be going in debt and then come a whole new year. Your resolution was what? To get out of debt. Was more debt.
Get out of debt.
Yeah.
And I think people today understand if you're not spending money in a gift. I just really think that people really understand that now. Where we spend a lot of money outside of gifts is we spend a lot of money in food. We spend a lot of money eating out. We spend a lot entertaining our guests when they come into our homes for the Christmas holidays, making sure that, everything is pretty and nice and neat, and the extra things that we buy because we're having Christmas dinner at our homes. But I believe that our families that we have over would just appreciate family time.
Yeah, fellowship.
It's not necessary to go through the things that we've been going through all these years and to pull out that old stuff that you had, 2 or 3 or 5 years ago, because y'all remember these last 2 years, nobody saw what you had.
That's right.
No, right? We were too afraid to even invite our families over for Christmas or anything. And we had everything outside a couple of years ago, right? So during the pandemic, thank God we lived in Georgia where the weather was still nice in December. you were able to still have a holiday dinner outside.
Mhm.
So the extra things that we spend, we can really cut that back and just begin to think about it. That season is coming up and it's coming amongst us very, very quickly. So we're just saying, hey, think before you spend. Think about the next year going into 2023, which has come so quickly.
Yes.
And think about all the things you want to do, not just having family enjoy Christmas, but have people just think about maybe you want to travel, maybe you want to start a business, maybe you want to actually buy a new car or a new house or anything like that. And that extra spending that we're doing just for that one day is, you know, I won't say ridiculous, but just not being thoughtful about what you're doing. Um, I don't want to go on that subject, but I was about to go. Do you all see that everybody, I have to do it.
Do it. Let's go ahead.
It drives me insane at this time of year. People reach out and give to the people that are on the street begging for money. Okay. Or, you know, they're homeless, they need money, whatever. And I can tell you that if 5 cars are in front of me, 4 out of those 5 cars have given money to people. Well, I want to tell you that those people need money every day of the year. Why do you just choose this time of year to give? Can you please give all year long if you're going to do it? You know, God isn't just looking at you doing it this season in order for you to get to heaven, you know. But this is the time where
more giving,
more people are giving, you know. And then even with the nonprofit organizations that need our support and our help, we find that we will give this time of year. Those nonprofit organizations, you know, and I'm going to name for Greenbrier Children's Center, they need help all year
long.
Okay, the homeless shelters, they need help all year long. We appreciate, and I'm not in the nonprofit business anymore, but I used to be. We appreciated that money when it came in during the holiday season, but how much we needed it during the entire year. So consider, again, not just giving at this time of year, but give all year long. And I was just watching it. I was just going down Abercorn, and I was at the light at Abercorn and White Bluff, and people was just giving to this gentleman outside. Then I was coming down Vic Parkway and right there at Street, just giving. And I was like, what? Oh, it's almost Thanksgiving. That's what it is. And everybody, I'm telling you, you know, now I almost want to pull some out too. When I was like, you know, I give all year. I don't just give during that time. And so that's why I'm speaking highly and strongly in reference to please continue to give this time of year. But please, please think about these organizations that need your support and your help all year long.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, Tanya. We're going to take another commercial break. And when we come back, we're each going to talk about what we're grateful and thankful for. Some of those things. We'll be right back.
This peaceful place, this serene glen directly behind me, was the site of one of the most horrendous historical events in American history. They sold 429 of 436 slaves that were offered over a 2-day period. When they started selling the first person, it started to rain. And when they sold the last one, it stopped raining. It had rained torrentially. And they said it was as if God was crying. We are going to save this site for posterity. The city of Savannah is trying to develop it, but it should be kept as a memento and as a memory for what man ought not to do to one another.
Welcome back.
We are back. So Matt Flo, we'll start with you. Go ahead.
What Tanya was saying about giving, and you know, some people, you know, we give, but I travel a lot. and I know Tanya and you travel a lot, but I'm in the habit of doing this. Every hotel that I stay in, I always take that conditioner, the lotion, the soaps, still packaged, and I bring them home. And I have, after a while, I have a whole stack of them. I take those to the shelters, Greenbrier, because you know what? I'm paying for that anyway when I'm in the hotel. So I just take all of those things, and then I would, during the year, I would just take those things to Greenbrier Children's Center or the shelters that need them, because they can always use those little items like that, personal items like that. And then in this last hotel I stayed in, they had a feminine items. Man,
Oh, wow.
I sure loaded up in those, and they're going to Greenbrier and shelter.
Very good.
Yes.
It's like, oh, it's right here. So, I've been in the habit of doing that for the last 20 years. Every time I travel, I never leave those items right there. They're packaged. And all I think about is where I can take those. And so I have a whole stack of them right now. I need to take them somewhere before I leave out of town today. But,
That's wonderful.
that's the tip. Anyone who travel, take those little things. But the hotels are getting smart now. You know what they do now, right?
What's that?
They put them on the wall in the bathroom.
Oh, yes.
You can't take them.
Yes, you just pump it out. I saw
Yeah.
that. Yeah. The last place I stayed, yeah. They still gave you a little bit of soap, but
Yeah, we give you a little bit of soap.
but
the
all that
lotion and the
shampoo and
shampoo,
conditioner,
Yeah,
you pump it
It's in a
out
pump
now. You are
Yeah, I've been
absolutely
doing
right.
that for many years. And I'm going to Thailand,
Ah, when are you going?
April 23rd to May 1st. I'll be traveling to Thailand.
Awesome. That is
So if I
fantastic.
come back looking like this, guys, y'all know why. Because I fall in love with the country.
That is wonderful. That's beautiful. It's always nice to go out of the country.
Mhm.
I know that I said the very next time I go, I am just going to fly first class, though. I'm just not going to do it
That's
any
where
other
I'm
way.
going. Everything's
Yes.
first class.
Yes, because there is
That's
no
where
way
I'm
that I'm
going.
going to sit in the back like I did going to Europe before. I'm like,
Oh, no.
I didn't know any better.
the flights are too long.
All
Yeah.
you want to do is get to Europe.
It's too long, and too cramped up.
Mhm.
So, Renetta, you said to start with, what are you thankful for?
As we enter into this, the holiday season, Thanksgiving is up first, then we fall into Christmas, and we know that we all celebrate, differently. We have our different traditions that we honor. But what are just some of the things that, as this year winds down, as you think about going into this thankful holiday season?
So you're looking at me first. Okay, so
I can go first. Either one.
Okay, I'm going to start out. So I am very thankful that, number one, that I have been waking up every single morning, and I give honor and praise to God that I have done that, and thanks to him that I've done that. So I am very thankful. I am thankful that I have a wonderful family and a lot of wonderful people that support what I have been doing this year. So launching a relaunching of my business and getting the type of support that I've gotten with Get Skills, launching my new way of eating and surviving, making sure that my health is good, in decreasing my cholesterol, exercising, and getting my heart rate up. And so we'll make an announcement before we get off.
Yes.
And then I am just thankful for each one of you in Financial Sins, that we're able to grow and touch the lives of so many people. So even if we don't have a whole bunch of people on every single week, we still have hundreds of people watching us after our show goes off. And I'm always hearing the great reviews of the things that we've talked about. So I am thankful for Renetta. I'm thankful for Mad Flow, and I'm thankful for Anthony. So, and hey, our back office person, Mr. Julius Hall.
Absolutely. Without him, we would not have this show on. Absolutely. Absolutely. I guess I'll go next. As we talk about being thankful and being grateful. I am absolutely thankful and grateful to have the family that I have. I have an amazing family, and my family is always so supportive of everything that I do. And Tanya's talking about launching. As we launched Premier Health Sourcing, that was a leap of faith. And you take the leap of faith, and and the universe responds back in kind. And that's what's happened in that. So thank you to those supporters of that. As we talk about placing people in staffing, and we talk about careers and career coaching. Someone said the other day that just that resume pop did it for them, and they were able to land an opportunity. And those are the little things that you do for others, because remember, we're servants first. And when we remember that even in our businesses, we're servants and we're servant leaders. And so I'm thankful every day for that opportunity. I'm thankful for the friendships that I have. Those are amazing, incredible friendships. And when your family becomes your friends, my sisters are my friends, and my posse are my sister friends. And so I'm thankful for that. And I'm thankful for every opportunity within my church family. I'm thankful for every opportunity that I have, and we laugh. And what I like, and I'm going to say this about Mad Flow. Mad Flow comes with this energy, right? Every single week that she's on the show, because of the passion that she has for financial literacy and what we do on this show. So I'm just forever grateful and just thankful, and just wanted to talk about that a little bit on today's show.
Okay. I love that. All right. I'm going to give you some real energy now, ladies. Okay. Listen to this. I am Mad Flow. I am the inspiration, enthusiastic, heart-throbbing, motivated, positive speaking, high-stepping, chin up, unstoppable, determined millionaire in the making. Always moving forward, racing to the top with high spirited, unconditional love, belief, and a positive influence. I am Mad Flow, but I'm not crazy. But I am mad about making a difference for the life of others through financial literacy. I have so much to be thankful for. Unstoppable. I love it, Tanya. I have so much to be thankful for. The first thing I want to thank the Lord for is this. My daughter had to have surgery, brain surgery, about 2 years ago. And she, we lost her for about a minute and a half on the operating table. Mm-hmm. And the Lord pulled her through. So I am so thankful for what he did. I'm thankful for the fact that, he gave me two wonderful grandkids. Love those grandkids to death. And you know what? God knows what he's doing. Point blank, period. Christy wanted to have another baby. And she was saying, I love for it to be a biological sister because she adopted her 2 children. And guess what? The Lord, she put this manifested this in her brain, in her mind, that she wanted another baby. She did not want her child to grow up, being a single parent. She wanted another sibling. I would love for it to be a sibling, a blood sibling. 9 months after she put it here, the Lord blessed her with an infant.
Amen.
My first granddaughter's sister. Now, isn't that a blessing? We didn't even know the lady was pregnant. But, that is so much to be blessed for. And I thank God every day for so much in my life, because every day something happens. And all I think I said, that was nothing but God. Nothing but God.
Yes,
thank
right.
you for my husband. Thank you for my 2 stepdaughters. They're wonderful daughters. We have a great relationship with them. Most people don't have a relationship with their steps, but I got a great relationship with my daughters. It's so much to be thankful for. Thank you, God, for getting my blood pressure down. I went to the doctor yesterday, and my doctor said that my blood pressure was high. I said, what is it? 160 over 90. That ain't high. That's good. Consider it. But my pressure is usually like 214 to 200 in the 200 marks. Wow. And he was saying, that's not, I said, no, 160 to 90 to me, that's good. But he said, we still want to get it lower. Well, I'll work on getting it lower, but I think that's pretty good. So I thank God for bringing that pressure down.
Keep on hula hooping.
Down. Yeah, right. Move it. So he's gonna pull it down some more for me and get it where it needs to be. But with so much to be thankful for. And I thank God for you two ladies and for Anthony. And I still have your books that you have not gotten yet. I think
I know. It's on me. It's on me.
Yeah, it's a lot to be thankful for. And I just thank God for, waking up every morning, being able to, at age 63, being able to get up and do what I want to do when I want to do it, and being able to hula hoop.
Yes,
Absolutely.
We know you have that hula hoop going. So as we continue to talk about that, just as you go into the holiday season, just take a minute and reflect on what you're thankful for. Now, as Tanya was saying, there's a plug that we must put out there, because you guys know that Tanya and I have been on this health kick, right? You see us out there walking, you hear us talking about it, talking about eating healthier, talking about everything that has to do with our numbers and with our health, because we both had things that happened in our lives that made us take account of what was happening in our health lives. Right. So we want to talk about what we have coming up here in 2023 that you guys will hear more about. You all will be definitely, as we talk about it, invited to it. We want you guys to come out and support what we're doing. Tanya, talk a little bit about what that is.
All right. So in April of 2023, we're going to host an event called Heal Your Heart. We are dealing with heart issues, making sure that people understand the things that they need to do in order to get their blood pressure down. And so it's an all women's event. It's going to be a luncheon held at Savannah Tech on a Friday. We ask that you come with your sneakers and also put your heels in your bag, because you're going to put them back on. But having an activity of outdoors where you'll come in. Maybe we'll hula hoop before we come in. Maybe we will have line dancing. That's kind of what we see. Make sure that people understand the importance of their cholesterol and it being high. It is one of the things that we don't look at that can cause all types of issues. And getting your blood pressure down, making your diabetes, your glucose numbers are also good. And going into 2023 being a healthier woman, because we are normally so busy taking care of someone else that we don't take care of ourselves. And this is the time that we really focus on ourselves. And this event that we're going to do this year is brand new. We don't know exactly what we're doing, but we know that it needs to be done. We have spent so much time. We spent so much time working with ourselves and our own bodies that now we want to make sure that we get the message out to everyone that it is time to be healthy. Be healthy. So again, in April of 2023, we're going to have a luncheon to talk about healing your heart. Lots of activities. Again, bring your sneakers and your heels. Bling them out. Bling them out like women do. And then just come on and have a good time with us as you learn and experience what it takes to be healthy, because we all think it's easy. It's not easy.
It's not. No.
I love food. You know what I mean? Yes, I love being a vegetarian, but I was a very bad vegetarian. And so I really had to learn how to be a better vegetarian. And in order for me to do that, I needed to go vegan for a while to appreciate vegetables, to appreciate the food that's out there that God just said, hey, just eat it off the ground, just plant it, eat it. And it is a healing for your body. So it's now time that we I'm not trying to teach you to be a vegetarian. I'm just trying to teach you that these
better
numbers,
habit.
yes, these
Yes,
numbers are
yes.
important, and we need to be aware of our numbers. So
stay tuned. We'll continue to provide additional information. We want to say thank you so much for tuning in with us today, coming in, listening to the ladies chat. Again, as you go into the holiday season, just remember, be grateful, be thankful, mind your spending.
Mind your spending. All right. And so we look forward to seeing you all next week on Financial Sins, where we'll be talking about diabetes and the things that the risk that are out there for so many people. Diabetes has now become an epidemic in our community, and let's see how we can reduce that. So we look forward to having you all join us next week. I'm Tanya Scott Pilcher, your insurance professor, and we look forward to seeing you next week.
As always, I say, make it a great day. Renetta Milner Gardner, let's talk about that career. Have a great Friday. Bye.
like that.